Right now, live at 5, make sure your vote counts before Election Day. What to do if your absentee ballot has been rejected. Plus, push to Election Day, where Vice President Mike Pence will be stopping on the Iron Range next week. And supporting Wisconsin businesses, the grant coming to Hayward to help cushion the blow of lost tourist revenue due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But first, the final presidential debate of 2020 is in the books. We take a look back at last night's performance by both candidates and what the next 10 days will hold before November 3rd.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS 3.
Here is a live look at the Spirit Mountain Cam, where the annual ski swap is happening right now. You can buy or sell your like new or gently used downhill skis, snowboard, clothing, and more. All proceeds are going towards the Duluth Ski and Snowboard Club. The swap runs until 9 o'clock tonight at Spirit Mountain. You can also stop by from 10 to 4 on Saturday or in 11 to 3 on Sunday. Good evening. I'm Natalie Grant. Tony and Kristen are off tonight. Thanks for joining us. Fresh off their final debate showdown last night, both President Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden are back on the campaign trail. With the election now just 10 days away, Bafta Yaman is at the White House with more.
President Trump touted a deal to normalize relations between Israel and Sudan at the White House.
In the coming weeks, they will meet to negotiate cooperation agreements. You saw that happen with UAE and Bahrain recently.
Afterwards, he turned his focus back to the campaign trail with 2 stops in the key state of Florida Friday.
It's going to be a great red wave like you've never seen before.
The latest CBS News Battleground Tracker poll estimates the Sunshine State is a toss-up. Meanwhile, Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden continues to hammer the president's handling of the coronavirus.
We don't have to be held prisoner by this administration's failures. We can choose a different path.
Election Day is now less than 2 weeks away, and already more than 50 million Americans have cast their ballots in early voting, according to the U.S. Elections Project. Among them are Vice President Mike Pence and his wife Karen, after they cast their ballots in Indiana Friday morning. From there, the vice president hit the campaign trail in Ohio and Pennsylvania.
It's been 3.5 years of promises made and promises kept.
CBS News polls estimate Ohio as a toss-up, while Biden holds a slight edge in Pennsylvania.
There's a reason to vote, which is that there's so much at stake in the outcome of this election.
Democratic vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris attended a voter mobilization event in Atlanta, Georgia, a state that's also considered too close to call.
Now, campaigning will continue throughout this weekend. President Trump will have a busy day with events in North Carolina, Ohio, and Wisconsin. Meanwhile, former Vice President Joe Biden has multiple stops planned in Pennsylvania. Following last night's final presidential debate, President Trump will hold another in Wisconsin this weekend. The Trump team has scheduled Saturday's event in the conservative stronghold of Waukesha. This will be the president's 5th visit to Wisconsin since August. Recent polls have shown the Democratic challenger Joe Biden with a slight lead in the battleground state. Now, you'll remember, Trump carried Wisconsin by fewer than 23,000 votes in the 2016 election. Meanwhile, the Northland will host another high-profile candidate visit just 1 week from Election Day. Vice President Mike Pence will make a campaign stop in Hibbing on Monday. Pence will host a Make America Great Again rally at 1 o'clock Monday afternoon. The event is happening at the Range Regional Airport. Doors are expected to open at 11 a.m. Now, according to the campaign, everyone will have their temperature taken, be given a mask, and will have access to hand sanitizer. This is Pence's second visit to the Northland this election cycle. He stopped in Duluth in late August. President Trump will held campaign rallies in Duluth and Bemidji. Democratic president candidate Joe Biden visited Duluth in September. As millions of Americans begin voting by mail, new United States Postal Service records show delivery delays continue across the country. Parts of the presidential battleground states of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Ohio are missing delivery goals by a wide margin. Now, according to the Associated Press, the agency is reportedly struggling to regain a footing after a tumultuous summer. This raises the possibility of ballots being rejected because they are arriving too late. Meanwhile, Election Day is a week and a half away, and county officials want to make sure that your vote counts, as they've already had to reject some ballots. CBS 3's Leanne Valdez breaks down 2 steps that you can do to make sure that your voice is heard.
Absentee voting in 2020 has shattered any and every previous voting record.
Staff has really worked a lot of extra hours trying to make sure we get stay caught up.
St. Louis County Election Supervisor Phil Chapman says approximately 55,000 absentee ballots have been requested, of which 36,000 have been returned to the county office.
In 2016, the last presidential election, we had approximately 16,000 people that voted absentee countywide.
Chapman says, though there is still time to get your vote in, you want to make sure you do it correctly so it won't get rejected, an issue they've been seeing lately.
The biggest mistake we've noticed is people don't sign on the signature envelope.
The other mistake is voters not putting their identifying number on the ballot.
So when you typically get that ballot with the signature envelope, you either have to have your last 4 of your Social Security or DL or a Minnesota ID number.
Those 2 mistakes can cause your ballot to be rejected. If so, county workers will mail you back a new absentee ballot and explain why it was rejected. Chapman says as it gets closer to the election, the county may contact you by phone instead.
If you put a phone number and email, we try to contact you that way, just to make you aware we can send this out, or if you prefer, you can come in and vote.
There is also a way for you to track your ballot, says Duluth Director of Administrative Services, Chelsea Helmer.
You can go to mnvotes.org, and it's right on the main page. There's a link. It's called Track My Ballot, and you need to put in your information, and then it will show you that your ballot's been sent, whether it's been received by our office, whether it's been accepted.
Anything else that they...
For more information on voting, including when your absentee ballot must be to your city clerk by, you can log on to our website, cbs3duluth.com. Meteorologist Caitlin Moffitt joins us for a first look at the weather. It's been a crazy kind of 48 hours around here.
Yes, some areas saw snow. Here in Canal Park, we saw just rain. So Lake Superior definitely kind of won that one here in the Canal Park area, the warmer temperatures, of course. But we still did get a little bit of snowfall across the region. Pine River in Minnesota got 5 inches. The National Weather Service, which is further up in the hill near Hermantown, got 4.1. Lester Park, Minnesota, which is not far from Duluth, got 2.2 inches. And Iron Junction got about 1.5. Areas in Wisconsin, you'll see Maple, Guile, Rhinelander, and Webb Lake all under that 2.5-inch mark, because most of the areas saw just rain. Now, we're just seeing some light flurries on the satellite right now, and that's going to be the remainder of this evening. Very light flurries, some light snow as well, but otherwise quiet conditions. The sun came out a little bit earlier today. Temperatures right around 37 degrees on top of the hill. Pretty chilly afternoon, and temperatures across the region all kind of portraying that as well. 28 up in Baudette, 30 in International Falls. We've got a quiet night ahead, but a cold weekend, so I'll have the details on your weekend outlook coming up next.
All right, thanks, Caitlin. Still to come on Live at 5, things are looking spooky over in Superior, plus a new opportunity for bookworms in Mountain Iron. City by City is coming up next. Plus, coming up tonight on the CBS 3 News at 6, the coronavirus will not put much of a damper on the annual White House Halloween festivities.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, Local, CBS 3. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live, Local, CBS 3.
It's time for the annual Subaru Love a Pet Adoption event. Join us virtually this year. For the month of October, there will be discounted adoption fees for dogs and cats, along with featured pets of the day. Visit animalallies.net for featured pets and event details. Miller Hill Subaru and participating shelters are excited to find loving homes for pets and bring you this event virtually. Visit animalallies.net for adoptable pets and details.
Right now, millions of people and billions of devices are connected to the internet. Homes, businesses, hospitals, schools. The security and reliability of these connections are more important than ever. That's why at MediaCom, we've built a network to protect them. A network that sees threats, fixes problems before they occur, and keeps you going with 99.99% network reliability.
I'm quick Quinn Nystrom, and I pay $600 a month for 2 vials of insulin, and that's with insurance. Meanwhile, drug company profits go up and up. It's why I refuse to take their money for my campaign. But Pete Stauber has taken tens of thousands of dollars from corporate interests and voted 5 times against lowering the cost of prescription drugs. I approve this message because I know we literally can't afford Pete Stauber in Congress.
First, the radical left came after Republicans like me.
Then the radical left came after police officers like me.
Now, they're coming after you. We live in dangerous times. That's why I'll always defend the police and your Second Amendment right to defend your family. Tina Smith has already voted against both. I'm Jason Lewis, and not only do I approve of this message, I guarantee it. Not bad.
Let's keep practicing.
Season 2 is here, y'all. And yes, I am in an eye patch. How much more, Kelly, can it
get? The
get?
Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on CBS 3.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 Live at 5. Here is a live look over the city of Duluth this Friday evening. Caitlin Moffitt will have a full weather forecast coming up in just a few minutes. But first, let's take a look around the region. Hayward is getting some needed grant money to supplement the loss of tourism revenue. Plus, Superior is starting to look more like a Halloween town. We're taking you around the Northland, city by city. We're going to start things off in Hayward, where the Area Chamber of Commerce has been awarded more than $38,000 from the Department of Tourism to help cushion the blow of lost tourist revenue due to the pandemic. Now, the travel grant program is aimed at helping restore the local economies of Wisconsin communities that rely on tourism. Hayward is one of the 158 recipients of this grant, which totals to $12 million. Now turning things over to Superior, where winter flurries aren't enough to ruin the Halloween spirit of the community. This weekend, they will host the Halloween events, kicking off as spooky season nears its grand finale on the 31st. This weekend, residents can compete in a Haunt Your House decoration contest, which lasts through October 24th. Residents can stop by the 21 competing houses and vote for their favorite with a social media selfie. And finally, we'll finish off in Mountain Iron, where many area libraries remain closed. But for bookworms looking for their next read, there is a solution. The Arrowhead Library System is joining the Little Free Library trend. The new mini bookmobile Little Free Library has been installed and is open to the public. It is located in front of the library building, and as you may notice in the picture on your screen, it is being driven by Mario and Princess Peach. Well, if there is something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email, and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city. Still to come and Live at 5, how the pandemic may be dealing the biggest toll to Gen Zers' mental health.
And we've got quiet conditions tonight as you wake up Saturday morning. Temperatures will be in the teens for most spots. I'll have a look at your chilly weekend forecast coming up next.
They're live, they're local. Watch the CBS 3 News with Kristen Baki and Anthony Matt tonight at 6, right after the CBS Evening News at 5:30.
Bender Shoes has a fabulous selection of this season's newest styles, and right now they're all on sale. Come in today and save during the Customer Appreciation Sale at Bender Shoes. We're located in Grand Rapids, Hibbing, and Duluth.
Get out and experience the great outdoors this winter with gear from your friends at Continental Ski and Bike. Continental has Alpine, Nordic, and fat biking gear for the whole family. Looking to tune your current gear? Let Continental technicians tune up your skis for your next adventure.
I am Robert. My wife, Katie.
I'm Holly.
Yes, you're Holly.
We are the 4th generation of a family farm. It has been more down times than good times. 2 years ago, a storm came through this area, took down our barn. Financially, it was unbearable, but Tina Smith and her staff, they came through big for us.
And she continues to be there for us. That's something I've never seen in a politician before. Really impressed me. I feel very fortunate to have her as our senator.
I'm Tina Smith, and I approve this message.
We've been down this road long enough, but Tom Tiffany wants to keep us going in the wrong direction. Even during a pandemic, Tiffany supports taking away protections for pre-existing conditions, kicking millions off their health insurance, and forcing you to pay more. There's another way. Tricia Zunker. Zunker will put our families first with better health care and help for small businesses, workers, and farmers to get our economy moving again. Tricia Zunker for Congress.
I'm Tricia Zunker, and I approve this message.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS 3.
Duke is a man of few words and many songs.
Let freedom ring. Gone country. Going down till the sun comes up.
It's 102.5.
Is it safe to go back to concerts? This sounds like a rave. The Experiment trying to find out. New doctors.
CBS 3 Weather is brought to you by Continental Ski and Bike. And now your Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Caitlin Moffitt.
Well, we had a busy week this past couple of days with some snow coming in Saturday, Tuesday, and then a little bit of some snow yesterday with that messy system that we were tracking. With these early fall storms, things become a little bit tougher to kind of track. But today, moving forward, we're in a much quieter trend for the next couple of days. But it also means very chilly temperatures ahead as well. Behind that system that you see here on the Doppler and satellite, these remaining snow showers that were in the Ironwood area early this afternoon have tapered off significantly. Now we're just looking at some light flurries across much of northern Minnesota, through the Twin Ports, and then, of course, into the South Shore region. So expect that for the remainder of your night tonight, but otherwise, little to no accumulation is looking likely. As we take a look at those current temperatures, though, across the region, here on top of the hill, we're looking at 37 degrees under cloudy skies, northwest winds at about 7 miles per hour. So pretty calm out there, but a little bit cloudy. We did see a little bit of sun this afternoon, but for the most part, we're back to seeing cloudy skies. Temperatures all right around 30 degrees, 36 in Two Harbors, 34 in Silver Bay, 26 in Walker, 27 in Bemidji, and 32 over in Watersmeet. They're still dealing with a little bit of some lake effect snow showers, but that will come to an end pretty quickly here. This is a Futurecast looking at tonight forward. By 5 or 6 o'clock, we'll see a few flurries passing through the region, as you see here by 9 o'clock tonight. Just a little bit of some light snow possible along the North Shore, and then, of course, in the UP as well. Otherwise, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. A few spots are going to dip down into those teens overnight tonight, and your Saturday morning is going to be off to a very chilly start. Now, we will see some sunshine to start our day. Should be a pretty nice Saturday, but on the cold side, of course, below average. And then clouds do increase again Saturday night into Sunday. We've got another system working its way into the region. Now, this snowy system should remain to our south. The Twin Cities will see probably a little bit of snow from that. Here for us in the Twin Ports, if anything, we're going to see some light flurries. And then our southern counties could see very light snow showers. We're not looking at much in terms of accumulation at all, because you'll see by 2 o'clock, very scattered in terms of some light snow shower activity, but otherwise pretty quiet this whole weekend, but on the very cold side. Here's a quick check at the Windshield Outlook for your Saturday morning. You'll notice across the region, this is what it's going to feel like outside as temperatures with winds out of the west at about 9 miles per hour. We're waking up in the Twin Ports at about 12 degrees, 14 degrees up in International Falls, 11 over in Bemidji. We're in for a very cold stretch the next couple of days where some areas could actually break some record lows as we head into Monday and even Tuesday morning. Tonight, partly cloudy, calm winds, of course, out of the west, 20 up on the hill, 14 in Hibbing, 19 in Hayward, and 18 over in Washburn. Dry conditions for the most part, a few flurries, but otherwise tomorrow we will see some sunshine. Clouds will quickly increase, though, to our south, especially for northern Wisconsin, and then for folks in northern Minnesota, and then here in the Twin Ports. We'll see temperatures right below that freezing mark, still about 10, 15 degrees below average in some spots. 7-day forecast, we've got a very cold trend the next couple of days. You'll see those low temperatures Sunday night into Monday, and then again Monday night into Tuesday. We'll be waking up in those low teens for us in the Twin Ports, even some single digits for some folks up to the north. And then beyond that, as the 7-day continues, you'll notice temperatures do slowly start to climb back into those upper 30s, even possibly seeing some low 40s by next week. We're in for a pretty dry stretch for the next couple of days, which is nice, I think, to see finally, because last week was a little crazy in terms of precip, but...
Yeah, I mean, ready or not, winter has made herself known.
Yes.
She is here.
Very early.
Very early this year. It's nice to see that the temperatures are kind of staying at this rate, though. They're not getting a little bit chillier.
Yes,
just so
very consistent.
For those that are going to do Halloween and want to kind of enjoy the last couple weeks of fall here, it'll be nice to get them outside and enjoy the temperatures. All right, thanks, Caitlin.
You're welcome.
A new survey finds Americans are reporting a significant stress in 2020, and the youngest generation is the most impacted. Nancy Chen has more on what psychologists are calling a mental health crisis that could have serious consequences for the future.
Michelle Rojas is starting her senior year at home. The 17-year-old is learning virtually and missing her teachers and friends.
Seeing them in person and having that structure where we would just eat lunch together every day, well, every weekday, and participate in the same clubs after school.
2020 has been stressful, and a new national survey shows Americans' mental health is suffering from all the tension. The American Psychological Association finds the youngest generation, Gen Z, is reporting the highest levels of stress and depressive symptoms of all adults.
One important part of this time period of life is finding your place in the world, both the world of social relationships as well as the world of education and work. And this generation of young adults is really struggling.
Adults ages 18 to 23 and teens ages 13 to 17 are considered Gen Z. Developmental psychologist Dr. Emma Adams says stress related to the pandemic, the economy, racism, and the election are all factors.
Those social connections are really important. So we need to help them find safe ways to socialize. But perhaps more importantly is that we need the availability of mental health services for this generation of youth.
Michelle founded this group for student mental health reform.
Many schools across the U.S. have sick days, but what about for mental health? So we're currently working on that.
She stays connected with friends through texts and virtual school events. She wants to become a psychologist to give back to her community.
Now, the survey found overall nearly 8 in 10 adults say that the pandemic is a significant source of stress in their lives, and 3 in 5 say that many issues in the country is facing is overwhelming to them. Well, it is that time of the show where we get to talk about pets. Today's pet comes to us from the Range Regional Animal Rescue in Hemming. Meet Zuri. She's a domestic long hair and is 2 years old with black and white coloring. Zuri can be a bit of a troublemaker, but carries herself like a princess, don't we all, and is looking for a family to spoil her like one. She was brought to the shelter when her previous owners became allergic to her. Zuri is not a fan of other animals and may need some time to adjust to new surroundings. She is chipped, spayed, and up to date on all her shots. Well, if you would like to add Zuri to your family, you can set up an appointment by calling the number on your screen. Still to come, how the pandemic and the coming winter months are creating new problems for the city's homeless.
With ongoing racial unrest across the nation, we're digging into the role race could play on the 2020 election.
CBS 3 News presents Race and Campaign 2020.
Is your child on track? As a caregiver, we love watching babies reach milestones, like that first smile, that first giggle, first steps and words. Some children need a little extra help to learn and grow. If you've noticed that your child isn't reaching certain milestones, don't worry. Free help is available for children ages birth to 5. Whether your child is at home, in daycare, or in preschool, the Help Me Grow referral system connects you to the early intervention program in your area. Visit helpmegrowmn.org or your local school district to make sure your child is on track.
It isn't always easy living in the Northland. Up here, we have to count on our neighbors and let them know they can always count on us. I have the honor of serving our community in the State Assembly. Down there, I'm fighting to make healthcare more affordable and broadband more accessible. My opponent has other ideas. He wants to help companies like Foxconn give tax cuts and bailouts to billionaires, leaving us behind. I'm Beth Myers, and you can always count on me.
So, you made it all the way up to the North Pole?
Yep, and the South. But I need good Medicare coverage so I can keep exploring.
Well, we have Medicare Advantage plans. Some starting at $0 a month.
Can I find them online?
Yeah, absolutely. Or you can give us a call.
Sounds good.
Well, our stop is just up ahead.
So that was the shortest ride I think I've ever been on.
Yeah, quarantine legs. Gotta work those muscles back up.
Senate District 11 has been my home for 40 years. I built a home here. I raised a family here. And now I want to be your state senator. As a journalist, I dedicated my life to listening and learning about your lives. I'm still listening. Together, we'll make sure that health care is affordable, our children have good schools, and our communities thrive. I'll be your voice in St. Paul, but I need your vote to get there. I'm Michelle Lee, and I approve this message.
Remove your spooky tree for free with Sawtooth Arbor Supply and Tree Care. Post your dead spooky tree photo on Facebook or Instagram. Grand prize is free spooky tree removal.
DBS, your all things basement-y company. Does your home have uneven or sloping floors? How about cracked drywall, stair-stepping cracks, or bowed basement walls? You may have a problem with your foundation. Call the specialists at DBS. They thoroughly inspect your property and provide a permanent solution to your foundation problem. We offer a fully transferable warranty, unmatched in our area. Contact DBS, your all things basement-y company, for a free, no-obligation estimate. Call or visit us online. DBS, helping your family have a healthy, safe, and comfortable home.
Moving to mornings, obviously, with Jenna, I had worked weekends with her, and it was great. We're always there to be able to still joke around, still have that personality, but still obviously bring the news, the weather.
Caitlin has been there since day one when I first started at CBS 3, and she's super knowledgeable about meteorology. She loves it, and she's so interested in teaching other people things about it as well. And I just think we're such a good pair for that reason.
Watch Jenna and Caitlin in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m. on CBS 3. The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on CBS 3.
Cold temperatures and snow are always a challenge for those without a place to call home. But this year, the pandemic is expected to bring a whole other set of hurdles. That's why several organizations came together to host the annual Community Connect event today. They handed out hygiene items, winter clothes, and more to people who are homeless or struggling financially. Organizers hope that this event will be a lifeline during a very challenging time.
Especially as so many people are just struggling in different ways economically right now. It's awesome to be able to help in just a small way of giving them a winter coat.
Well, if you or someone you know missed today's event, it'll be back next Friday as well. You can stop by the Damiano Center in downtown Duluth from 11 to 1 on October 30th. Now, our early season snow is catching some Minnesotans off guard, and that includes our snow contractors. Down in Minneapolis, some of those contractors perform landscaping in summer and snow plowing in the winter. Our storms this week were so unexpected that most businesses were scrambling to turn their operations around. A Twin Cities company that dispatches snow contractors says that it has responded to more than 1,500 calls in 24 hours.
Last 24 hours, I had to completely disassemble my fall cleanup box and make sure the plow is still all ready and working. Usually we get all the leaves down before we see some snow, but not this year. No one was really prepared for this whatsoever.
Now, contractors say that if you still had leaves to rake, don't worry. As long as it stays cold, you can keep them there until spring.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, the dash to the finish line. With 11 days to go, all eyes on the nation's biggest battleground, Florida. Plus, breaking news in the race to a vaccine. 2 companies get the green light to restart their COVID vaccine trials. As infections spike, the question everyone wants to know, when will they be ready? And absentee voting from 200 miles above the Earth. How this astronaut cast her ballot from the International Space Station. That's all tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
CBS 3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health. Need a flu shot? Find flu booth dates and locations at essentiahealth.org.
It's coming. You ready? Because Toro's Snow Days sale is here. With the #1 brand in snowblowers, you will dominate winter. And now during Toro Snow Days, get up to $100 off select 2-stage snowblowers, up to $40 off select 60-volt battery snowblowers, and up to $50 off select single-stage snowblowers. Plus great financing offers. Win winter with Toro.
Radical liberals are trying to defund and dismantle police departments across America. And the radical liberal candidate for Congress is Quinn Nystrom. Nystrom and her extreme allies will turn their backs on our police and endanger our communities. Pete Stauber kept us safe for 23 years as a police officer. Now he's fighting to ensure law enforcement has the training and tools they need to keep us safe. Pete Stauber for Congress.
I'm Pete Stauber, and I approve this message.
First, the radical left came after Republicans like me.
Then the radical left came after police officers like me.
Now, they're coming after you. We live in dangerous times. That's why I'll always defend the police and your Second Amendment right to defend your family. Tina Smith has already voted against both. I'm Jason Lewis, and not only do I approve of this message, I guarantee it. Not bad.
Let's keep practicing.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day.
Watch Eye on Mining with Kristen Vaki every Tuesday at 10. Brought to you by Iron Mining Association, Range Regional Airport, and Miners National Bank of Evelyn. Only on live, local CBS 3.
Season 2 is here, y'all. And yes, I am in an eye patch. How much more, Kelly, can it
The
get?
Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on CBS 3.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News Live at 5. Here is a live look from Canal Park on this Friday evening. Let's take a quick look at some of tonight's top stories and a peek at what's coming up tonight at 6. If you voted absentee, you could have to re-vote if your ballot was rejected. City officials say that they've seen ballots rejected because people have forgotten to include their signature and identifying number on the envelope. These are two very important factors you need in order to vote, for your vote to count in the 2020 election. And coming up tonight at 6, this week we found out that Duluth schools will allow sports and arts programs to function despite the case rate being over the limit. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll hear more from students about how they feel about the decision. That's your news at 5. The CBS 3 Evening News is next. We'll see you right back here at 6.